Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Press Box. Brian Carson here with my co-host Kenny Warner. Kenny, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to this great show here.
Yeah, we got a quad box tonight. Josh came on to Josh Yoder to ask some questions, and apparently Matt's the only one brave enough to show his face because the rest of us
I was just wondering that.
have freaking avatars. We have a good friend, a regular on this show. Happy to have him on again. He's got a show coming up on Saturday, a really important show, which we're going to talk about. And that's one half of the Honorary Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, the Sons of Mifflin County, Matt Silks. Thank you, buddy, for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, guys. I always look forward to this.
So, hey, got a card. We're going to start right off with that because it is a special thing, and I'll let you explain. We have, let me get your poster up here. I ripped it off of your site.
Awesome. Well, that's why it's up there, so everybody can check it out. Look at that.
That is July 12th. Holy shit.
That's I do the same thing with the opposite month, Brian. So
yeah. This Saturday, doors open 5, bell at 6, $10 entry, and you better show the hell up, people. It's a donation. The donations go to the family of Paisley Henry for medical and travel. And if you would like to explain, Matt, we're all ears, my friend. It's cause and effect is the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is. And like always, Brian, Kenny, Josh, it's great to be here with you guys. I never look at these opportunities as something that you get used to. I'm always excited and thrilled to be part of this because I know you guys put a lot of work and a lot of effort into this podcast. So I want to say thank you before I go any further with our card. This event is very different than anything else that we've ever done in HWF history. And I'll go out on a limb and say it's the most different thing that I've done as an athlete myself here in Lewistown. So it's mainly, like you said, to raise money for a little girl that was born with not an easy go around, man, to be honest with you. To be born without an immune system is
that is crazy. I'm going to read this because I had never heard of it. She has severe combined immunodeficiency, SCID. And so the family, Rodney Henry, the husband, Morgan House, she's the mother, right?
Yes.
Rodney Henry, the father, Paisley, they had to quarantine in their home because she has no immune system at all.
Yes. And that is, the challenges that you have in life, and then to hear something like that, it really makes you think. You know what I mean? It really makes you thankful to be here and to be doing okay. I talked to my wife about it a couple nights ago, and I said, if there's any kind of small positive that I could take, because I try to find some type of positive in everything. Maybe this child won't remember going through something like this. Maybe it's something that they can, with the way we are today in the medical field, doctors are fantastic. So who's to say that, things don't get very well? And I'm praying that they do, man, because it's crazy. My wife actually worked with Paisley's grandmother. So I had heard about this through my wife on our lunch breaks, and she told me about, this poor little girl that was born without an immune system, and how hard it would be to fight off any type of illness or anything. And we're talking about the common cold. And
even a cold could kill her.
Yes. And there's a lot of it that I'm trying to really find to be great, because I met this little girl, and she's beautiful, and she's got beautiful parents. They got a beautiful support system, in my opinion.
Good.
To me, I look at that firehouse as like a brotherhood, like what we have for the wrestling shows. So I can only imagine how those guys are, and they're all fantastic. Larry Carter, I got to put him over big time. I got to really give him his flowers. That when it came time around putting our dates and what we're going to do for foreseeable future in the next year season, I said something about July, and I was like, let's do something for the Firehouse. And at the time, I didn't know that this was that one of the guys in the Firehouse had a situation like this. His daughter was born without an immune system, and then all of this stuff comes together, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've heard about this. This is crazy. Small world, right? And then to talk to Larry's like, let's do it for Rodney. Let's do it for Rodney's baby, and let's do whatever we can. And to be honest with you, from that moment at Ass Kickin' Saturday, our last show there, our debut show, which was amazing, by the way, the Heritage Fire Company helped in so many ways. I'm so thankful for those guys. But to know that we're going to be going in something like this and we're raising money for something like this is the first time for me doing something like this as well. So I just have to say that we have a really good team of people. And since we teamed up with the Heritage Fire Company, Chad Johnson running the music last show, and all these guys coming together, helping, hanging up banners, and what can we help you with? It was like we'd been working together for a long time, but it was the first time that we'd done it together. And I want to say it was amazing. And I think this cause and effect show is just what we need to do next. You know what I mean? I can feel it. It's something that's really, really meaningful to me.
So I might be bonehead. I don't get out much anymore. Is Heritage used to be the Brooklyn or?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So that's cool for them.
Yes, and it is. And Sam Bumgardner, I give him a shout too.
Sam, go Sam.
Without Sam, I don't know that we'd be talking about it like this to this length, because whenever the community center was up in prices, I thought, what, there's nothing we can really do, and I don't want to be kicked out of a building. I've never been kicked out of a building, so I wanted to just take our show somewhere else. And I didn't really think much that this would work out the way that it has. It really blew me away. The last show was I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm waiting for somebody to be because this is too good to be too true. You know what I mean? These guys are so awesome, and they're kind and all this and that there. And I understand there's some guys that don't quite buy into what we do, and that's understandable. I get it. But at the same point, how can you not after hearing something like this? You know what I mean? Yeah. And all the guys that are traveling up here, there's a tag team that's coming in from Cleveland, Ohio for no money.
Wow.
The tag team champions. And that
good for them. They deserve to be mentioned. Who are they?
Yep. It's the tag team that we're wrestling. They're the Golden Boys. That's what they go by. They go as the Golden Boys. And we've never done business together. Phil Stamper, our president, he heard about what happened with the Street Stompers. Those guys had to pull out for unforeseeable reasons. So because of that, Phil had, hey, this team would like to come in and work with you guys. And I was like, well, why not? And then to sit here and think about it on another level and be like, wow, for a benefit show, no money, these guys got to love the business, and they're in the right position to be doing something like this. It's just the thing that I would want to do to help in some way. So I'm really happy that they're coming on board.
I got to ask you a question. If people can't go, but still want to donate, is there any place where they can send their donation?
To be honest with you, I just had a talk with Krista about this the other week about trying to do something like, I had somebody reach out and ask about the same thing, and I said, well, we're going to be we're going to be down at the Heritage Fire Company, and we're going to be there Friday night. So if people want to stop down and they want to do it that way, or if need be, I could always put out my Cash App or whatever, like the company's Cash App, HWF or whatever, and we would take that, get it to them. So, I mean, if that would be something that someone would be interested in doing, just contact me, message me on Facebook.
Yeah, because, there might be people that want to donate, but either can't show up or are not into wrestling and but want to help.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, there is quite a few people that have reached out and have said about, it's cool what you guys are doing and everything. And my whole look on it is, if the Heritage Fire Company can host a really good wrestling show, and if HWF can put on a good show that maybe makes this family or maybe makes somebody else in the similar situation feel entertained and be into what's happening, then I think we did our job. And if we raise money and we're able to, at the end of the night, help in some way, contribute in some way, of course it's not going to be on some mass measurement or anything like that, but as well as I do, every little bit helps. And to be in and out of the hospital like that, I mean, I heard different numbers from different people. I heard 50, 60 days in the hospital consecutively. And, then you got Rodney, the father, young man, very, very nice, respectful man. I met him and I've talked to him. He's a fantastic person. He's a hero, man. He runs with that fire crew, and they go into situations that they have, to be honest with you, I'd be pissing myself if I was in these situations. These guys are real badasses. And I'll check that at the door first thing. These guys are great people. And, Rodney, the whole time that they were in the hospital, he's still coming up here. He's still fighting fires. He's still doing what he's got to do to save his team and working and all this other stuff. It's like, it boggles my mind at how he did it. And there's a lot of people like, Matt, how do you do this wrestling stuff? That's nothing compared to what a lot of these guys go through in their lives. You know what I mean? And we're all dealing with something, Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I can firsthand say I was in the hospital for 51 straight days, and it's not fun.
No, I'd imagine.
It's not fun. No. And I'm just thinking, just simple little things people take for granted. They couldn't even go outside because they could catch something and bring it back to her. I mean, my God.
So many situations that can occur, and it's like, and the thing about it with catching a cold or something like that, it's not like you can visually see that you caught this thing. You know what I mean? So like, it's going to take days, and then what if these days turn into something even more horrendous? Like, but you know what though? The real thing is that this Paisley, this young lady that we're talking about, we're doing this event for.
Yeah.
The strength that she has to be kicking ass and being an infant newborn baby, fighting this deal off, like kicking out at 1, kicking out at 2, like, wow, this girl's already a fighter, and she hasn't even been on our globe with us long at all. And what a fighter, man. Like, that's it's something.
Kids are tougher, especially the newborns, than you think.
Yes, sir, they are.
Damn tough. Because when you get older, you get whiny and bitchy and baby like myself.
I can attest to that. I feel you, Brian. I feel you every day, buddy.
But I do have to say one thing. I don't want to put a damper on everything you're doing because I love it. But the Golden Boys, Kenny and I were actually known as the Golden Boys before. So they stole our damn name.
Gimmick infringement, huh?
Yes, right. Before we became the Fat Bastards, we were the Golden Boys.
Personally, I like the Fat Bastards better.
Right. Thank you. Your wife gave us a thumbs up.
Hell yeah, she's out in the kitchen doing the real work, making food for the family, and still supporting, being on and watching and listening. Like, great boss, great wife, great mother.
Well, don't worry, I won't do that again. Remember when I pissed her off and said, "Go make me a sandwich"?
Hey, to be honest with you, there's every now and then she's like, "We got to get Brian to a show so I can give him a super kick." Now, I'm literally kidding. That would be
great. She'd freaking kill me.
She'd kill me, bro, on my best day. She would, and I wouldn't even have to have her touch me. She'd look at me. I'd be done.
Now, this is pretty cool. You mentioned about the Cleveland. So, you guys are wrestling the Golden Boys. What about the rest of the card? What do we got? I saw Pit Chicks in a match.
Hell yeah. The Pit Chick, Danny Lair, a huge, like, this girl makes a guy like me almost kind of jealous, to be honest. I've been doing this for a really long time, and I've never seen a talent, a person that never followed the business, never was into wrestling at all, except for maybe seeing it in passing as a child, you know. But in the last 2 years, 2.5 years maybe, I've watched this woman learn how to captivate an audience, how to captivate me, how to captivate this entire surrounding circle that she's around. You know, I think that she brings an element to the Sons of Mifflin County that makes us stand out, you know. And at first it was a manager, you know, now she's in the ring, she's kicking ass. Keely Capri and her had an amazing matchup at Ass Kicking Saturday. Unfortunately, Pitchick wasn't able to come up on the end of winning on this end, but I think she learned a valuable lesson. I'm at training with her every week, so I know what she's thinking. I know how she's preparing for the next thing. She's about to wrestle Sam Street. Sam Street is a chick I've heard a whole lot about. You know, she's traveled up and down the roads. She's been working as an independent professional wrestler for quite some time. And she's making her debut right here in HWF this coming Saturday night. That's July 12th at the Heritage Fire Company for Cause and Effect. I'm excited to see this women's match for a lot of reasons. But the first thing, and I have to be kind of biased here a little bit because, like I said, I'm with Danny all the time. She's in my tag team, right?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this next chapter for the Pit Chick. I think that her and Sam are going to do some great business. I think the match will be fantastic. But it's almost like the matches don't even really count with the Pit Chick. The second she goes through the curtain, there's like this sound that I've never heard before, and I've been doing this a long time. And the way she captivates that audience, if she starts winning matches, if she starts going the next step, we're talking a possibility of maybe becoming one of the first women to hold a championship in HWF. She's already made the history. She was the first woman to be in a match in this company. Why not be the first champion? You know what I mean? So Sam Street, I think, is the beginning of a very, very bright future for the Cherry Bomb. And I can't wait to see it. What do you guys think? Is it going to be good?
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see it. I may actually be coming this weekend. Trying to get everything all hammered out. Josh has got other commitments, and he asked me to come cover it. So it's
my apologies on that one. It literally was like I was out covering a baseball game in Mount Union, and they had told me about this event. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll come and cover that." So I already
no problem, Josh. I get it, brother. I know you guys are all trying to do as much as you can, and to be honest, like I said at the top of the program here, I appreciate any mention that you guys give us. I give that magazine that you make, Kenny, is a constant, real deal promotion to what we're building here.
Oh,
it shows. You know what I mean? What you guys are doing with asking questions and writing your own stories. I'll be honest with you. I'm just thankful that you guys cover us, and I'm thankful that you guys cover other stuff because it feels like that stuff is becoming smaller. The community around that thing is getting smaller. We were talking the other day about this at the training school about how it's surprising to me that field when the Burnham Bulldogs play isn't packed every time that they're doing something. And if there's anything that bothers me, it's stuff like that. You know, I talked to Dawn about it. I said, it seems like, you know, if there's a radio show or something out there, you know, of course people are going to show up. But, you know, you guys are the ones that keep running programming on the things that other people may not be paying that much close attention to. And a guy like me appreciates that because I know how hard it is to keep up with that stuff. That magazine is like one of the longest standing things in our community here, dude. Congratulations. The radio show you had me on a decade ago. Like, we've been doing this a really long time, Kenny, and Josh is right there with it, and so is Brian. You guys are doing epic stuff, so don't ever apologize for getting work. I appreciate you guys helping.
Well, I appreciate that, man. And it kind of one of the things I wanted to bring up too, because we actually had a little conversation. Well, actually, we've had this conversation since we first met in high school about wrestling and community based. And I feel like to me, this is probably like your biggest show in terms of trying to help do things for the community and try to help build this community up. And I think it's very important for to have shows like that and to show that, hey, like not only we want to bring entertainment, but we also want to bring help to the community as well.
And it's nice that you guys care enough to to do stuff like this. And you guys have been, I know, in our corner quite a bit, done a lot of stuff for us, and I know that's well appreciated. And the kids and myself, we get a kick out every time you guys come and play us, and that's just a little bit of what you do. That's just stuff that people see. The behind the scenes stuff that you guys do is also really important, and you guys do a great job. And it's great that we have a company out there that loves the community like we all do.
Yeah, we're doing this stuff together. It makes it bigger. I've always thought that teaming up makes things just so much bigger, brighter, and it makes it hard for people not to see, not to hear. So I don't know, man. I've been chipping away at wrestling a long time, just like Kenny. You've been chipping away at doing this broadcasting thing for such a long time, and I know how serious you take it. You invest your money into it, as do we. You know what I mean? So it's like it's our life. You know what I mean? And this little bit of time that I have with you guys to be able to talk about an event like this, it's awesome. And to be honest, I'm just happy to be involved with it. You know what I mean? And I happen to be a little bit further in my career now, and I can help out, and I can maybe lend an idea or something about, what if we can do this to help, and what if we can do that. But ultimately, it's the fans this weekend that are coming out that are helping just in paying admission, $10 to get into our event. We're taking that money and we're giving it to the family. Like merchandise. Somebody reached out to me like, are we selling merchandise? And I was like, I don't know, man. Unless you're going to take a portion of that and donate something, I don't know that we need to be worrying about that. My main objective here is to raise money. I'm going to sell some of my ring-worn items, like my gear and stuff, see if I can't raise some stuff up there too. And Trista's talking about some other stuff. So we're still kind of, you can tell that this is something new that we've done because, we're still putting the stuff in the soup here. We're still cooking, But I feel at the end of the night, with the matches alone, I hopefully everything goes on without a problem. But, the main important thing here is to raise money up for this family. And I know that if I was in a situation like that, I would be hoping that somebody would be able to have my back too. So any way that we can help, that a lot of the thanks goes to the Heritage Fire Company and Larry and Chad and all those guys that really legitimately every day of their life, they help somebody. They go out of their way to help somebody. And I'm happy that we're involved with them,
Cool. So tell me a little bit about the rest of your card for the show.
Okay, so
so I got Sean Farrell. Sean Farrell was having, he just put this up. Wait, I'll bring it up. Ace versus Big Philly.
Yep, that's one of them. This is a story that is very, very intriguing to me. Big Philly, guy that's very reliable. He's training every day. He's in the ring. He's paying his dues. He's doing all these things, and he's one of the most reliable people I've had on the road in all of my years of wrestling. And then you got Ace Connell, that is one of the best students I've ever trained, mentored, helped in any way. This kid gets it. He understands it. He came from Philadelphia, and he had a hard go at it, man. He made some rough decisions. And, I had to explain to him here a couple months ago that I don't want the guy that was in the tag team, the Connell brothers. I don't want the Connell brothers. We ran that, and things didn't work out. I want Ace Connell, and I want Ace Connell to be himself, and him bringing on the persona and bringing on the face of his belief in God has really, really come to play here. Big Philly, there was a video put out on HWF that Big Philly attacking him at a car wash.
Yeah.
Had Big Philly carrying him down a church, walkway and quoting things from the Bible and saying, "Hey, Ace, is your God telling me that I'm evil?" Smacks him in the face. Like, come on, guy. Why would you do something like that? This kid's just trying to better his life. Ace was victorious at Ass Kicking Saturday. This is round 2 for Lewistown. These guys are also going to be wrestling the following weekend in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. So they are in a real rivalry. They're taking it on the road. It's old school, man. It feels like something that over the next few shows, it could cure like wine, man. And a good story, I think, is lacking in the game of pro wrestling today.
Yes.
And I think that something like this is a way that you can contribute to something bigger, whether it be for Ace at the end, whether it be for Big Philly at the end. All I know is every page that we're reading in this story, it's different. It's quality. Both these guys are hungry students of the game. They pay their dues. It's a legitimate thing that they do. They have to be held accountable to stand in the ring like I was, like Josh was, and so many of us back in the day. I'm older now, and I'm much more wiser to the fact that you can't mess around, man. If you want to be in the game that I love so much, you're gonna walk a tight line, and you're gonna respect the wrestling business. Both these guys do. The match is this Saturday night. I can't wait to see what comes to the next chapter. Big Philly's on to big things. Ace Connell's on to big things. And Zach Rain and I spoke about Ace Connell last night. We were talking about, this tremendous upside this kid has and how at 28, 29 years young, he could probably do something. Do some more push-ups, work on the body, get on the physique a little bit, maybe put another 1,000 miles on the road. It will make a huge difference in your career, and Ace is finding that out. This weekend, though, with the cause at stake, I can see Big Philly stooping to a low. I can see that, as all bad guys do, But I'm excited for it, man. Right?
Yeah, gotta go. Gotta have the scumbags. Jeez.
Right. You need a scumbag.
Who else?
Jason Havoc will be in his first HWF match ever. Guy that helped train me. He's going to be wrestling the president of HWF and the president of independent wrestling, Phil Stamper. One of those really reliable people. Jason Havoc has been. You could ask Josh. He's been chasing me around for the last couple years. He has some type of agenda with me. Does not like me. Does not like my wife at all. I don't understand how she didn't slap him hard enough for him to realize all those months ago that, hey, don't mess with me. But this guy's doing some mischievous things behind the scenes, trying to mess with me and Rodney at all the times. But I think you push a guy like Phil Stamper, and he's going to show you exactly what he's capable of. He is a submission machine. I know this because I watch him train every time that we set the ring up to do these shows. I'm excited to see Havoc. I'm excited to see Stamper together. Josh can attest to it. Jason Havoc is a hard ass. He's the hard ass that we need in our business, by the way. Edward James is going to be live in action versus O'Reilly Chambers, a twisted cat. These guys have absolutely no history. This is the first time that they've wrestled each other, so I can't wait to see what happens there. Ember Lee Ray, another one of my students like Edward James that is coming up in the wrestling world and learning things on the road, learning things here at the school and progressing. We talked about the Pit Chick and Sam Street. And of course, the tag team match that we have is happening as well. But Mason Martin, this monster from Baltimore, Maryland. Now, I don't know if he is residing there, but I met him in Baltimore, Maryland, and he knocked me out in Baltimore, Maryland for a shoot. For real, got knocked out by this guy. He's going to be debuting versus James Ford, our former heavyweight champion. The guy that told everybody he was the forever champion and then lost to John Roden. James Ford will be wrestling this weekend, at this benefit event, Cause and Effect. James Ford does all the every year he comes up to play with the Burnham Bulldogs, a guy that truly does care about the community, cares about the people around him. I watched a promo today that Mason Martin's telling him, hey, and in so many New Japan ways, and it felt like a Japan grit promo. He basically told Ford, like, hey, I hear that you're the guy to beat, and I'm going to do that this weekend. So I'm excited that these guys are excited. We have, at the moment, we have about 7 matches scheduled for this weekend. But I was thrown a curveball when the Street Stompers, let us know that they weren't going to be able to make it up this time, and that's sad and that sucks. But at the same time, the Golden Boys are going to be coming in here, debuting all the way from Cleveland, Ohio, and representing professional wrestling like pros do. And we're in a big main event match. It's a main event tag team match. This is the second show consecutively that we've been the main event and a tag team matchup. It's huge. Now, I don't know if you guys heard about it or not, but in October 11th.
Wait, don't say anything.
Okay.
I know about it.
Okay, got you.
I was about ready to bring that picture up.
Good deal.
But before I do, I want your wife to come in.
Krista. I'll let her pop right on in here. She can answer the question.
Well, both of you could do it if you can get your heads in there.
It's going to be me in the clip with her. I don't think my head's going to fit. It's too big.
Hey, promoter, how you doing?
Good.
Now, you pulled off a big one for Mifflin County, so I want to I maybe you can't mention the details, but a little bit of how it came about. We've got coming in October, former WWE, well, it was WWF then, tag team champions Gallows and Anderson are coming in on October 11th at the Heritage Fire Company, the Heritage Harvest. They're coming in to kick your husband and his tag team partner's ass. Sorry, Matt.
He hopes it's him. It is whoever is our tag.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought it was. That's right. You might not have the championship.
It may not.
Your wife really believes in you, huh?
I think she does.
May not.
Hey, I'm just making sure that it's very clear that whoever the tag champs are, so from now to then, it could easily change.
Yes, yeah, it really could.
True.
These guys could beat us this weekend. You know what I mean? Like it's not a guarantee that we're going to be the guys facing them, and I think I jumped the gun on that as well. But hey, don't blame me for getting excited.
I did say the tag champs. So yes, of course, if I was a tag champ, I would assume that it was me too.
Yes.
But it's whoever our tag champs are at the time.
That's
it could
true.
It could be you and Kenny, Brian.
No.
Fat Masters make their debut and former WWE Tag Team Champion.
That I can guarantee you. Me being 58 years old wouldn't even get near the ring with those two guys.
They are pretty impressive, Brian. They really are, man. They have been everywhere that a pro wrestler can be.
Yes. So this is pretty cool. How did it come about that you even got a hold of them to have this happen?
Well, different. Everybody's different. I don't know how everyone is, but me personally, I just went searching on their social medias, and thankfully for me, Doc Gallows, his contact information right there on his Instagram. So very easy to get a hold of him, and we just emailed back and forth, figure out everything, and came to a conclusion. October 11th, you guys are coming in.
That is so cool.
That's freaking cool, man.
Yeah. The cooler part about it is the fact that we have gotten to a place in 4 years' time that originally, yes, I was the guy that screamed it. We don't need names. We don't need to have names to get over. And to me, I feel like this is something that we've grown into, man. It's, we grew into another chapter, another season. And why not do something with two guys that are fresh. A lot of people that bring names in, they bring in cheaper names that, wrestled 25 years ago. And there's nothing wrong with that. These guys still got to make their living. It's professional wrestling.
Oh, they're hitting the indies absolutely everywhere right now.
They've been New Japan. They've been everywhere. TNA, every place that you can work, AEW, every place you can work, they have been there. But not only were they in WWE, it's not like they were just like there in WWE and did some house shows. They were tag team champions how many times? They were in the biggest stable in New Japan, the Bullet Club. I stood in this room and used to play the Bullet Club theme song and would think, like, how cool it would be if those guys would come to the ring and, like, beat me up or something. Here, like, is a straight opportunity that may happen.
You may get your wish.
Man. And isn't that crazy? A guy that, of course, no teeth in his mouth. He likes getting punched. You know what I mean? Like, maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't know.
Well, not many people want to get beaten up, so.
I enjoy confrontation. What can I say? And I legitimately do. Like, some people call me a jerk, and I learned from a very wise trainer that you cannot be too friendly with your students and such. And I think the business has made us like more gritty to be able to handle a situation like this, to be able to work with top tier talent that have been all around the world. And it's a huge get for my wife, man. It's our first names that are coming in together, and like it's huge. I'm very proud of it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So in long-term effects of this, like you said, these guys, it's not like it's and even though he was my favorite of all time, it's not like Ric Flair. I'll wrestle even now, wheel me down with an oxygen mask, and I'll go for 2 minutes. These guys are legit. What do you think that does or is going to do for your organization?
I think it changes the quality, and not only the quality of the matchup, not only the quality of the overall performance from everybody, it makes us all level up. I'm not a video game guy, but I get the references, and like it levels us up. You know what I mean? Now we're going to be held to a different, level, different degree. I said to Rodney the other week, like, if we're the guys that go in there to face the Good Brothers, you know what I mean? This will be my first name matchup, and it will be Rodney's first name matchup. So we're getting to experience something together. Not only that, now after this, we can say, we wrestled guys from the Bullet Club. We wrestled two of the best tag team guys that were in WWE in like the teen years of the millennium. It's like these guys are fantastic. They're great at what they do, and it makes everybody level up. And our production is stepping up, which we didn't have a bad looking show. I don't think so. Everything's clean, crisp. The video, the pictures, that's all credited to our production. But he could have said no. He could have said no. We don't want to do business. And no, he wanted to come here, and as well as Carl Anderson, and I think it's a huge thing for HWF as a whole.
Well, if it is you, that wrestles them, this is something you just admitted a while ago that you used to fantasize about.
Yeah.
What is that going to feel like? How cool is that going to be if you're the one that's in the ring with those guys?
I don't know, man. So early on, I've met a lot of really, really cool names. I've gotten to be in a hallway with Scott Hall for several hours, Jake the Snake Roberts, and these great minds of the business, right? And I look at these guys as they are the superstars that they're portrayed, but they're also guys. They're also men, When I wrestled Neverfall, when I wrestled Zach Rain and John Roden, I very much looked at those two guys like they were names on television because they were quality wrestlers. They could wrestle anyone. They could bring out the best in anyone. And they were our top tag team champions. So I looked at them like they had an aura around them. And I was like, this is the team to beat. This is the team to be in the ring with. I don't think the thing that's going to change for me is going to be when we're standing in the ring and we're looking at them. Then I think that will dawn on me that, like, holy cow, this is a dream come true for you. Former WWE stars wrestling you in your hometown. I debuted with a former WWE star, my very first match ever. You know what I mean? So, like, I've been very blessed, and I've been in some pretty cool conversations in different places, but, like, this is by far the biggest opportunity. And if we're still tag team champions, which I will not stop to keep that title. That's the most prestigious championship to me. And Rodney and we're operating on another level. I feel we're the team that should be wrestling the Good Brothers. And I think we're the team to beat. I really do. So guys that are coming in from another promotion, it's going to make us better challengers. It's going to make us better champions, all around better talent, in my opinion.
I do have a strategy for you.
Let's hear it.
Real quick. If you wrestle them, sacrifice Rodney to them. Let them kick the crap out of him, and then you come jumping in.
Well, that would be, in our line of work, that would be called taking heat. And if Rodney's watching this episode right now, he's going to be like, well, what's that any different from any other match that I'm in?
Not that you guys aren't focused or anything, but having that in the horizon coming, do you think that'll make you guys even hungrier? Set your bar up another notch?
It already has. Like, I'd be lying if I told you that, like, as soon as I found out about this, I just like ran to the gym and started working out. You know, I didn't. I looked at it as, this is a mental thing for me, because I've got to be able to get over the barrier of what this is for me as an opportunity and as a talent in my hometown, you know. And then I got to look at it that I'm sharing it with my best friend, with one of the best that I've been in there with, and he handles the stress and the pressure extremely well, and that's why I'm happy that he's my partner. And making us hungrier, the second that I found out that this was a done deal, I remember just feeling sick in the pit of my stomach, like, this is a real thing. This is really going to happen. And regardless if you're ready or if you're hungry or not, these guys are coming here. And whoever is going to get in that 16x16 with them, they're in for a matchup. And I'm going to prepare to be that guy. But with the talent that I'm in the locker room with, that is no foregone conclusion by any means.
I would still treat your partner like a jobber. Just throw them at them and let them chew them up.
Wow.
Let them. Hey, we're friends off the mat, out of the ring, in the ring. Screw you. You're toast.
You would really be a great manager, Brian.
Thank you. I told you that.
Maybe I should just turn heel, and you should just, like, join me. You'll be my Paul Heyman, and we'll show them how to really do it.
You're damn right. I'll do it. Get in there, you little jobber.
Yeah.
You gotta make my guy look good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Josh. I interrupted you when you were going to ask something. Go ahead.
No, it's all good, Carson. I was just going to add on to Matt's point. When it comes to meeting stars, like, not only it elevates your talent, it could also inspire others to maybe help join your company, or even also talents from outside that see, like, wait, those guys went to this company? Well, maybe I should check out this place. Yeah. And maybe hopefully elevate to up and coming to another promotion or to a bigger promotion.
So many ways. Many ways it's going to help.
Like, one of my favorite personal moments when I was there was when I got to meet Stevie Richards.
Yeah.
Who the hell's that? Stevie Richards, career jobber, man.
Hey, listen.
No, I'm kidding.
A lot of people call him the jobber.
I know who he is.
He is probably one of the best enhancement guys I have ever seen. He could make a broomstick look entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he definitely brought out a lot of confidence in me, and when I refed his match, it was what's crazy was he demanded that I be a ref for his match. Like he literally I took him around town because he was looking for a grocery store. So I took him to Giant, and he kind of could tell that I was like not the highest of self-esteem. So when we got back, he went and we were talking, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to show you how good you can be. And he went up to the promoter and was like, I want him to be the ref of my match. And I was just
that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking, this guy, my knees were shaking.
Like, way to go, Stevie Richards. Maybe you're not such a pussy after all.
Dang.
I put him in there with that little runt, Mikey Whipwreck.
Oh, Mikey Whipwreck.
Mikey's an underrated wrestler. Mikey's an underrated wrestler, personally.
That is great.
Like, you little runt, I'll wrestle you.
Yep. He wrestled like hundreds and hundreds of people. That's like Stevie Richards, man. Like, I would love to wrestle Stevie Richards. Like, he dissects stuff now online, and I watch all of his stuff. It's great.
I know it's sacrilege to say it, but a small guy that was really good was Benoit.
Yeah, he was, in my opinion.
Forget about what he did in the ring. Brilliant.
You brought it up, Brian. I've been talking to my wife about it. It's crazy how we're in 2025. Everything in streaming services is about one of a few things, and one of those things is the crime and all the stories they do on documentaries on the killer next door and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I told my wife, I was like, I know that WWE probably never wants to shine the light on him, and it's terrible what he did,
Yes, but it's like
technician. Oh,
yeah, it's like he never existed. I mean, geez.
Yeah, and the thing about it is to know a guy like Benoit just by watching his stuff, to know that his career would be just like it never happened after so much work and hard work. It's like, oh man, it's sickening. It really is. Like, Dark Side of the Ring did a good job with that.
Not to make an excuse for him, I think just all the concussions, he was severely brain damaged.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And a lot of guys are like, that's what happened. And who knows, man? That could be a very big contributing factor. But like, to me though, that's kind of scary if you think about it.
He was depressed too. He was very
paranoid. He was thinking that
I just don't know how he could. I just don't know how he could do that to his son. I don't know how you could do that to your own flesh and blood like that.
Yeah, he definitely put a bad taste in the mouth of people that hated wrestling already. You know what I mean? Like Nancy Grace, I just remember she just tore down everything. I mean, at the time that happened, like, dude, he was on top too when this happened.
Yeah.
So he was a top star, and to have all that stuff and the pressure, and I get all that, but man, it's terrible. And because I look back at some of those matches, and you almost feel guilty for watching him wrestle. You know what I mean?
But it also didn't help that the year prior we lost Eddie.
Yeah, and I think that was a big contributing factor as well, because I mean, those guys were brothers, but like still though, to go to the lengths that he went to and stuff, and then like how much confusion it put in the game of pro wrestling as well, with like people being like, well, I was one of those guys that for a long time was like, man, what if it wasn't him? Like Chavez said he heard someone or something, but like, that's what you want to think. You want to think that, your guy that you've been a big supporter of would never do something like that. I'll tell you right now, he was my favorite professional wrestler, like ever.
Good.
Yeah,
he was good.
Yeah,
and ironically, they did a show honoring him the next day, before they all knew what happened, and that's been erased from public view.
Yeah. I remember that like it was yesterday. I remember just finding out about it and then watching on TV and be like, "There's no way that this is real. Like, how is this gonna how did this happen?" And then you find out, and then you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
And We had someone that I come up with. I don't know if you guys ever heard. Josh knows him. Rock and Rebel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Another wrestler that I don't know if it was depression or what it was, or he had some demons, and he killed his wife and killed himself.
Oh
And
my God.
It was bad. Like I had, it wasn't even that long after I had to leave wrestling.
Yeah.
And I literally was like, and just I felt bad that I had to leave. And then like I think it was like maybe a couple months afterwards that shout out to Mark Mess, God bless him, good man.
Love Mark.
He posted about it on Facebook, and I'm like, wait, what? And I went and read about it. I was like, oh man.
Yeah. Things had to have been just terrible, you know what I mean? That's awful.
It
Yeah.
was
To get to that point, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sean's favorite wrestler is Shawn Michaels.
There you go. Shawn Michaels is the man, but there's dude, I pretty much said it, like everybody that's wrestling today in WWE is pretty much like Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? Like everybody does super kicks, everybody does moonsaults, and it's like backflips are like the headlock takeover of 2025 now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
well.
Now
I will say,
now they had to bring Goldberg out of mothballs.
How about it?
Christ, get the Ben Gay.
I'm over it.
well, I will say I agree with you on. I agree and disagree with you on the Shawn Michaels thing, Matt. I agree with the whole like wrestling takedown, like the moves of Shawn Michaels, without question.
Not his chemistry and his charisma. No.
Yeah, and his and more importantly his storytelling.
Oh yeah.
Everything meant something. Like the pacing has always been good. Now, my biggest pet peeve with wrestling, I mean, I watch primarily Japanese wrestling, but trying to watch some of the wrestling stuff now, it's like everyone's trying to cram in 7 matches in one match.
Yeah. And I get that. I get everybody's wanting to get their stuff, man, and they want to be seen, but like you're not going to be able to get anybody's attention if you don't work at it and you don't have the quick time and the slot of the storytelling. I remember hearing Vince McMahon say about it, like, if 2 guys are just wrestling for no reason, nobody cares. You know what I mean? But like if you get into just knowing who both of the guys are, a lot of times that's more than enough already. It's like, well, this guy's about this guy's about this, and they're going to be wrestling tonight. But what you don't know is on the way here, something happened, and you could take that tiny little thing and make an entire long term story out of this thing. And as long as people get behind it, man, then you're doing your job.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be good versus bad. It's
not anymore. Not anymore. It's changed a lot. And I mean, there's parts of that I like, but there's also parts of it that I'm like, you know what, you always need a heel. Every story needs a good guy. Every story needs a bad guy. And if you don't have something to come back from, if you don't have, standing back up, then they're not going to applaud you. You know what I mean? If you're just a guy that doesn't fall down, they're going to grow sick and tired of that. But the guy that, gets his ass kicked, I use the Batman references all the time. Like my dad, he used to say, man, I don't understand why you're losing like that. And why, like, people are going to stop watching you think if maybe you're losing all the time. I'm like, Dad, no, you're getting it wrong. Like the Batman movie, he is getting killed basically the entire movie. And then at the end of the movie, what always happens, he comes back and he's, the shining star, blah, blah, blah. But to me, you need losses, and it's a real thing in life that happens. You know what I mean? So you are only who you are off of the history that you've been dealt and the experiences that you've had. You know what I mean? So to me, a good wrestling story is like the best story that you can tell. And it doesn't have to be new. It doesn't have to be old. It just needs to be simple. It needs to be easy to be, comprehend. You know what I mean? Then you can add the twists and turns in there. But to me, my favorite thing about wrestling now is the fact that I am able to contribute that stuff finally. I wanted to do that a lot as a young kid myself, but like I didn't know how to figure out my own stuff than nonetheless anybody else's. And now I feel like, wow, this is fun. You know what I mean? And like that's what we're doing this weekend. Like the wrestling is the bonus almost. You know what I mean? Like it's awesome that we're getting to do it. The best part is raising the money up.
Yes.
The best part is reaching out to people.
Yes.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And Shawn Michaels was nothing without Marty Jannetty.
He wasn't.
That was a joke. That was a joke. I mean,
But you know what? R.D. Moss will never be anything without Matt TRK Sills. Literally joking too, but that's probably the only part of the episode they've seen. By the way, Rod, if you missed it, they want you to take heat when we wrestle the Good Brothers.
You're the jobber, buddy. You're the jobber.
I love him to death, though. He knows I'm messing with him.
But yeah, so back to it. This is important, people. Please, if you can go.
Yes.
I'll put that up once again. It is cause and effect. The Heritage Fire Company used to be the Brooklyn. $10 donation. The donations go to the family of Paisley Henry, who has an autoimmune disease very badly.
Yeah.
And, you know, look at all you got. You got the Sons of Mifflin County there against the Golden Boys, Pit Chicks Wrestling, Ford's Wrestling. A lot of good stuff going on.
Yes, a lot of good stuff going on, and I do want to give a shout out to our heavyweight champion. He's a fantastic wrestler. You know what I mean? John Roden is one of the reasons that I feel that our division and of HWF is doing great numbers. It's entertaining. He's he's literally like one of the best wrestlers I've ever been in the ring with, and he's not going to be able to be there this event. That kind of sucks. Red Dog, our extreme heavyweight champion, he won't be able to make it either, but we have a lot of really good talents coming out, and we're building up to, you know, Summerfest that's August 9th, and Ed House will be returning then, and we're going to have all kinds of exciting stuff that we'll be announcing this weekend that is moving forward into the season 2025 of HWF. And things are just heating up here, guys. You know, this weekend is really the prelude, the beginning of what to really see as an art form by October. You know what I mean? Where can we get from now until October 11th? And where can we get from October 11th to onto our other dates? The Heritage Fire Company made it to where we were able to isolate our dates that we are going to be doing for the next calendar year. And that's the first time we've ever been able to do that. The borough of Lewistown wasn't so easily to work with them, and it's not any fault of their own. It has a lot to do with. Yeah, I agree.
Sorry,
but the Firehouse, they have made it very enjoyable, and they've also like been down to earth about it. You know what I mean? So I'm thankful to those guys, and I always wanted to run into Brooklyn. I always wanted to have shows there. So there's a big part of this that means a lot to me, and doing this event like this weekend is like, I'm so happy that I'm involved with it, and I truly am.
I'll just leave it at this. I'm not surprised you had difficulties with the borough of Lewistown.
Yeah, I've had difficulties with them the whole time.
I won't name names, but there's a couple people that are on that board that are assholes.
Yeah,
with a giant A.
And we're allowed to have our opinions, you know, and hopefully if they're listeners on this show, they know just how much we really support them.
It's not you, Heavy. I love you, buddy. Heavy Sear's a great guy.
They're all great people for allowing professional wrestling to happen.
They're not.
I think. I'm just thankful that we're allowed to have the shows here.
There's how many is on 8? There's 6 that are good people.
Well, there you go.
2? No. 2 are like Mikey Whipwreck.
And Stevie Richards.
I don't know. I changed my opinion about Richards since he did that for Josh.
Yes, I love Stevie Richards. Right to Censor was one of my favorite things that he did. That's like Festus. I don't know.
Yeah.
Brian, you I don't know if you've ever seen it, but you got to look up Festus. The guy that's in the Good Brothers.
Oh yeah, I
Doc
saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it that would get him pissed off?
The dinging of the bell. And you know what?
That's right.
I just told my students this the other day. I was like, you know what? In a perfect world, that is the greatest gimmick ever.
Thank you,
To
Sean.
ring the bell and the guy comes alive, beats everybody up, and then ding, ding, ding goes back to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I could see where a lot of people were like misconnected with it because of like maybe they thought that he was insulting some people or something like that. But I think maybe that's why it never really got.
Yeah,
far.
people need to have fun. Everybody's too
They
sensitive today.
They do. I do. My heart believe exactly what you just said. And we had a whole thing about this at my school here the other day that, yes, it is a softer time in today's world, but I am not a soft person. And I'm a bit spiky, you know what I mean? So we had an incident here the other day that seen some things happen that I wasn't happy with, but at the end of the day, I love this business more than a lot of people. And that's a statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like professional wrestling has brought me my wife. If I was not a wrestler, if I did not meet Andy Hoare when I was in 3rd grade for the second time, I would not be with my wife. I wouldn't have my kids. And both my boys have been involved with my wrestling company. My youngest is running a recording device to capture all of our amazing matches. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna stand on what I believe is right for this profession, and I'm gonna do everything right by it because it's done so much for me.
Awesome. Hey, good luck. I hope it's jam packed.
Me too.
On the 12th, and congratulations on getting the Good Brothers to come in. That's pretty cool.
Thank you very
And
much.
always a thrill to have you on.
It's always good to be on.
Come back. You know that. It's an open invite all the time.
Heck yeah, I appreciate that, Brian. You guys all always make me feel welcomed, and it's always a great time. And the hour always goes like this because we get into it. We have a great time. We laugh. We talk about what we love. So thank you so much for having me, guys. Josh, it's been a pleasure.
It's always good to talk to you, Matt.
Always
great to talk to you too, brother. Thank you guys so much.
Matt, do me one favor, okay?
Yep.
Stay on until we go off because I want to ask you something off the show.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Kenny, do you have any shout outs before we get out of here?
Yeah, I got a couple.
All right. Let me get your music. I got to play Kenny's porno music for his shout out. It's called.
What's up?
It's, believe it or not, the title track. It's called
Walking the Ducks, right?
Feeding the Ducks.
Oh, Feeding the Ducks.
Feeding the Ducks. That's great.
Yes. Here we go, Kenny. Hear that, Matt?
I hear it, man.
I hope we don't have younger kids listening tonight. It's like 70s porno.
Oh, jeez.
All right, Kenny, go for it.
Okay, here we go. Quick shout out to the Mifflin County 8U baseball team. Finished in the top 4 in the Cal Ripken state competition. Good job, guys.
Absolutely.
Congrats.
Next up, we have a shout out to the Mifflin County Babe Ruth 15, 16-year-olds as they finished in second as state runner-ups in the Babe Ruth All-Star competition. They'll move on to Williamsport, and I believe that's July 16th it starts in Williamsport. And the team that beat them was West End. So
yes,
West
Williamsport.
They're
rivals.
So they might get a chance to go up against each other again in the regionals. So
well, it keeps Ray working.
He's going to be a busy man these next couple weeks.
10-1, he was out there in that heat with a sweater vest on.
uh,
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I was just thinking that game I covered, it was in Belfont, and I had a blonde moment. The game was delayed from because of thunder and lightning, so I assumed, and you know what happens when that happens.
Yeah.
I got most of the game in, and everyone was taking their stuff and leaving, so I left. I thought the game was over. Well, everyone was just going to their cars. The game picked up about a half hour later, and I missed the final 2 innings. So,
Hey,
yeah,
it's okay. Remember, we used to be called the Golden Boys.
yeah,
So
that's
you're allowed to have blonde moments.
true. Well, our theme song was "Thank You for Being a Friend," wasn't
Yeah, I think so.
it?
So long ago, I don't remember.
Okay, shout out to the 12-year-old softball team. They reached sectional action. Their season completed as they fell short of advancing, but great season for the State College 12U softball.
Awesome.
And finally, a shout out to the State College 12-year-old Little League baseball squad. They opened sectional competition today. So that concludes this
Good
week's
luck, guys.
shout out. Yep.
Indeed.
Well, that's going to about wrap it up. Oh, next time, Matt, bring your jobber along.
I will. I'll make sure that I get him here.
We'll get the Suns in.
Yes.
Matt
Sounds
is
good to me.
jobber. Matt is jobber.
That's it.
Jeez.
Wow.
I'm gonna have so much heat by the end of
Oh
the
yeah,
season.
he's going to be pissed at me too. We'll tell him we got to change your name to Jobber.
Yep. J-O-B Mosh.
Yeah. Jobber Mosh.
That's hilarious.
All right. I thank everybody for listening. I appreciate it. Please, 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 if you can get out there, support this great cause that Matt and Honorary Wrestling is doing for Paisley, Henry. Any gift is, hey, and damn it, it might be $10 to get in, but you can give more.
Yep.
So give more. Or Kenny and I will be at your door hounding you all night.
That's it.
We'll even send Josh too.
Oh, now I'm scared.
But thank you everybody for listening. We appreciate it as always. Thank you, Sean, for commenting like you do. I want to thank my partner Kenny Varner, Josh for coming on, Josh Yoder, and as always, Matt Silks, Sons of Mifflin County Tag Team Champions. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. Have an even better weekend. Take care. God bless.
God bless you.
God
Good
bless.
night, everybody.
Yep. Good night.